Hello, Nigeria. Welcome to Newsline. I am Jennifer Igwe. Many thanks for joining us. On our lineup today is a twist to a trending story of a man in Kaduna who was allegedly put in solitary confinement by his family for 20 years. Our correspondent, who has been following the case, has an angle different from what is trending on social media. Then the saying that there is always a time of reckoning is indeed true. We have an update on how an alleged killer, doctor in Kwara State, who thought probably he will never account for his alleged actions, was nabbed in Edo State. Stay tuned to find out how the well-experienced medical practitioner ended up with allegations of kidnapping and murder. Then, talking of alleged murder, I am sure many will never, even in their wildest imagination, think it is possible for a grandma to end the life of a child, especially one in her lineage. Interestingly, we have on cue the case of a grandmother who was arraigned for the death of her 3-year-old granddaughter. And on a positive note, awards and honors are recognitions for accomplishments, patriotism, contribution to national development, and much more. We will be highlighting some outstanding personalities who were honored by the nation and their alma maters. We have all these and much more, but first, the news segment, and Jumai Yusuf in Abuja is set for it. Hello, Jumai. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Jenny. And I'm so excited, to just listen to the stories that you'll be dishing out this evening. Welcome to the news on Newsline. A 55-year-old political scientist, Mr. Biodun Oyebanji, has been sworn in as the 5th executive governor of Ekiti State. Mr. Oyebanji, who was elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress APC, highlighted a 6-point agenda to drive his administration's development plan. Kola Adebopue reports.
It was an impressive gathering as Ekiti people joined by their friends, including the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, governors of Ondo, Ogun, Lagos, Kebbi, and Plateau states to celebrate what many referred as the beginning of a new era in the state. The oaths of office and allegiance were administered to the new governor and his deputy, Mrs. Monisade Afuye, by the state chief judge, Justice John Adeyeye. Governor Ibanji says his 6-point developmental agenda will focus on youth development and job creation, human capital development, agriculture and rural development, infrastructure and industrialization, art, culture and tourism, and good governance. He noted that the programs were carefully and painstakingly selected based on his experience in public and private sectors, coupled with the yearnings of the masses to further improve the status of the state. The governor promised to sustain the feats achieved by his predecessor in the area of education, healthcare, social investment, water, sanitation and hygiene.
It is needed to produce environment for and we make the decisions in repatriation to invest.
What experience to manage the state?
You should follow the step of all the former governors.
The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, who congratulated Ekiti people on the occasion, solicited their support for the success of his candidacy in the 2023 presidential election. Born 55 years ago in Ekogwese, Ekiti West local government area of the state, Biodun Oyebanji, a former academic, farmer and public servant, was until his election as the governor of the state, the secretary to the state government. In Ado Ekiti, Kola Adebopue, NTA News.
Now, the National Broadcasting Commission notes with serious concern the illegal action of Zamfara state government directing the shutdown of operations of media outfits in the state on Saturday, October 15, 2022. In a statement, the NBC notifies the state government of the gravity of the illegality and requests it to expeditiously reverse the directive and apologize to the people of the state. The Director General NBC also urges security agencies to ignore the call to restrict staff of the affected stations from conducting their legitimate duties. Similarly, the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, says the closure of the federal and private broadcast media by Zamfara State Governor is an affront against the Electoral Act 2022, which should be curbed immediately to protect Nigeria's democracy. BON calls on the Inspector General of Police to provide adequate security for all media houses in Zamfara State to protect stations from attacks by state-sponsored political thugs. Similarly, the Nigerian Union of Journalists has added its voice in condemning the unethical closure of media outfits in Zamfara State. The NUJ notes the crucial role of the media in information dissemination and the entrenchment of good governance and says it is counterproductive to attempt to muzzle free and independent media, which are key elements in a democracy. And the International Press Institute, IPI, calls on the Zamfara State Police Commissioner not to enforce the directive by the state government, noting that the order clearly violates the 1999 Constitution as amended and has no place in a civilized society. As political campaigns kick off again across the country, the Emir of Zazzau in Kaduna State, Ambassador Ahmed Nuhu Bamali, has called on politicians in the country to conduct their electioneering campaigns in a respectful manner and dwell on issues which will improve welfare of citizens. This was when the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Ashiwaji Ahmed Tinubu, paid him homage. Tina Toro reports.
The presidential candidate, accompanied by some state governors, visited the Emir to felicitate with him on his 2 years anniversary. Emir Ahmed Nuhu Bamali said it is part of his responsibilities to remind political leaders on the need to promote peace and harmony in the country. He said the ongoing electioneering campaigns must be devoid of libelous statements, character assassination among various contenders.
Elections, that is our desire, that is our prayer. What we need at this point is security of entry, improve economy, and also peaceful coexistence. That's one indivisible entity.
While saluting the Emir for the sustenance of peace in Kaduna State, the APC presidential candidate said there is great lesson in peaceful coexistence. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu said there are a lot of inspirations to be drawn from traditional institutions for the country to forge ahead. He appealed to traditional rulers not to relent in providing useful advice to all manner of people. In Zaria, Tina Toro, NTA News.
Embracing new economic global order, which places premium on private sector-driven economy, has been recognized as vital in national growth. Presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, says any nation desirous of development must allow private sector to play a significant role in its economic blueprint. Umar Anjigi reports.
The week-long activity put together by the Kaduna State government to provide conducive environment for investors in the state remains a platform for the APC presidential candidate to make far-reaching pronouncements as it affects national economy. He noted that private sector participation in the economic development remains a priority.
This is why it is important for the government to give maximum support and incentive to the private sector. I am APC candidate. No problem on those data. I give you a short time.
He said as candidate seeking presidential position is not taking private sector for granted. Bola Tinubu applauded Kaduna State government for its vision to come up with this idea. Governor Nasru Ahmed El-Rufai described Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a visionary leader with fresh ideas that will move the country to a higher pedestal of development. In Kaduna, Umar Jingi, NTA News.
Consolidating developmental legacies and democratic credentials of the APC government is a patriotic obligation upon well-meaning Nigerians. This is the message of Ariwa Youth for Tinubu and Shatima 2023 as the group rolls out the drums in Kano to mobilize 5 million votes for the APC presidential candidate in the forthcoming election. Mohammed Ali reports.
The Solidarity Movement brought together Arewa Youth Support Groups, Professional Women Council, and city boys from the 19 northern states. They are in Kano to chart a course for the broad-based mobilization of the electorate towards ensuring convincing victory for Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shatima come 2023.
We feel it is only right for us to select a state in the north and bring the youth from the 19 northern states to come together and make a statement of the endorsement of our candidates down to the local government candidates we have.
So as Shatima 2023, it shows that these are the kind of people that we need at this critical time to fix our country, to fix our infrastructure, to make sure that this country is secure for average Nigerians.
I'm calling the support groups to use one to tell 10 methodology of 1 to tell 10, 10 to tell 100, 100 to tell 50. If we use this methodology, inshallah, we will conquer all the eligible votes across Nigeria.
So we see Kano as one of the major places where these votes can come out from. So that is why we are here in Kano today to seek for the support of the Arewa youth to be part of us to mobilize these 5 million votes for Bola Ahmed Asiwaju.
The group assured Nigerians that casting their ballot for Tinubu Shatima in the forthcoming presidential election is the surest guarantee towards upholding and consolidating upon the development legacies and democratic ethics.
The presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Prince Adewale Adebayo, says poverty reduction and economic rejuvenation will remain a cornerstone of his campaign promises. He was speaking in Kaduna while interacting with party supporters in Kaduna. Mohammed Baba reports.
The party's presidential candidate was in Kaduna to engage members of his political platform on the need to close ranks and face challenges before them. Prince Adebayo said his aspiration to contest office of the president is born out of his desire to contribute his quota in nation building.
So our generation must take another challenge. And that challenge is to remove poverty once and for all. 30 years ago, MK Abiola was here campaigning against poverty. He said farewell to poverty. Now, 30 years after, I am here saying I'm campaigning against poverty. That is not progress. We must make progress. Vote for SDP. Let us remove poverty once and for all.
He appealed to his supporters to campaign vigorously for the party to win all elections. In Kaduna, Muhammad Baba, NTA News.
The amalgamation of interest groups in the north have engaged presidential candidates to set agenda for rapid social, economic and political development through a sustainable roadmap aimed at addressing national problems. 18 presidential candidates are expected to interact with the groups. Suleiman Rigachukwu reports.
It is a heart-to-heart interface between leaders of the Arewa Joint Committee comprising the Arewa Consultative Forum, Sir Ahmadu Bello Memorial Foundation, Center for Historical Research and Documentation, Jam'iyyar Matar Arewa, the Arewa Elders Forum, with presidential candidates of People's Democratic Party, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the People's Redemption Party, Kola Abiola, and that of the Social Democratic Party, Prince Adewale Adebayo. The candidates took turn to present their plans for resolving critical issues of unity, insecurity challenges, industrialization, poverty and educational backwardness as they affect the northern region and the country as a whole.
I am optimistic with a reasonably responsible and just leadership that can give every part of this country a sense of belonging we will achieve and we can achieve nationhood. It is our cardinal belief in the People's Democratic Party, and one we hold very dearly, that such in Nigeria is in the collective and individual best interest of all its citizens.
So we have agriculture, agricultural land. Second, we have water, river basins. And it doesn't matter what time of the season, what time of the year, you can do all-round agriculture in Nigeria.
Nigeria, they say, needs collective engagement to resolve challenges militating against its progress and social upliftment. This is the first time institutions and socio-cultural groups in northern Nigeria engage presidential candidates on their plans and programs for the country ahead of general elections. More presidential candidates are scheduled to appear before the committee for similar interaction. Sulema Rigachkung, NTA News.
Still talking politics, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, says it is not deterred by plots by some anti-democratic forces who are uncomfortable with the success of the ongoing reconciliation efforts by the party to cause tension and disrupt the party programs in Kaduna State. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Debo Olagunagba, in a statement explains that the party's position is predicated on information at its disposal on how the anti-party elements position is predicated on information at its disposal on how the anti-party elements who are not happy with the campaign successes achieved by the national chairman, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, and other party leaders have concluded plots to orchestrate tension and create an impression of crisis within the party by recruiting thugs to protest and disrupt scheduled programs by the PDP in Kaduna State on Monday, October 17, 2022. The party employs all members and the public to be at alert, noting that the unpatriotic elements plot has the capacity to cause a breakdown of law and order and derail the smooth conduct of the 2023 general elections. The statement calls on security agencies to set in motion machineries to forestall any attempt by anybody or groups to disrupt the programs of the party, particularly given the consequential effect of such on the democratic process and the nation's corporate existence. To other news now, arrangements have been concluded for the return of over 20 Benin bronzes from the United States of America. Anthony Fossen reports.
At a quiet and low-key refreshment in the Smithsonian Museum of African Arts, Nigeria's Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, was special guest of honor. The event already set to put pen to paper in an agreement to return to Nigeria what truly belongs to her.
It will be exhibited at the National Museum in Benin so that we can unite them with the people and the place where they were looted about 125 years ago.
For Lai Mohammed, he has remained consistent.
It is not about how you came into possession of these artifacts that matters, but the fact that they remain looted, they remain stolen, and the right thing to do is to return them to where they belong. And I hope that the British Museum and other museums will borrow a bit from what has happened today and what also happened in Germany.
It's a really great moment for us to, as a testimony that repatriation is the right thing to do. Museums outside of Nigeria should understand that returning of objects that are illegally taken out of Nigeria is something that they need to agree to return them because it's the right thing to do.
The returning artifacts comprise 21 from the Smithsonian and 1 each from the National Gallery of Art and the Rhodes Island School of Design. In Washington, D.C., Anthony Fossen, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. When we return, more on the news. Do stay. You're welcome back. President Muhammadu Buhari joins academia, family and friends in celebrating the renowned professor of Middle Eastern and African Studies and Vice Chancellor of Fountain University, Osogbo, Professor Amidu Olalekan Sani, as he turns 65 on October 17, 2022. The president rejoices with the scholar who has dedicated many years to research and contribute to knowledge President Buhari notes that the brilliance and diligence of the researcher and administrator's steadfastness in teaching and mentoring of students home and abroad on his 65th birthday. President Buhari salutes the scholar who has served as visiting professor at Harvard, Oxford University, Texas and German universities and taken up many leadership roles that have brought honor and glory to the country. President Buhari prays God to bless and keep him and reward his contribution to national development. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says it will strengthen collaboration with stakeholders in mitigating crude oil theft and infractions on its pipelines. The takeaway from an inspection visit to an illegal connection point on the 48-inch Forgados crude oil export line in Delta State is that it cannot be business as usual. Lydia Sampson reports.
This is an illegal infraction where we are standing right on 48-inch Forgados export pipeline. Pipeline vandalism and infractions on petroleum and crude oil pipelines remain a major challenge with ripple effects on production, output, and the economy. Though infractions are detected through drop in volumes, some are buried in deep waters. One of such is an infraction on the 48-inch Forgados crude oil export line hidden under muddy waters and just discovered through stakeholder collaboration. Zakaria Budunwara, General Manager, Joint Venture Operations, NAPIM, says NNPC Limited is committed to bringing an end to the crude oil theft menace as well as stability to host communities.
All this we are doing to ensure and also assure Nigerians that we are doing something to curb this menace of crude oil theft. We know the direct impact it has on the revenue, we all know, but especially on the people in the host communities and the environment. No one can do it alone. We can all do it together to achieve our desired objective.
It is very massive, unquantifiable quantity because the pipe is long, is over 4 kilometers, in fact, about 5 kilometers long. So there could be a lot of crude still on that particular line. And they did it because they didn't want to take the costs, bear the cost of laying pipelines in the ocean to the area, so they used an existing line. That's what they did.
The visit and unearthing, they say, is a further demonstration of an excellent collaborative effort by NNPC Limited and its stakeholders. The massive illegal connection and the walk through the connection route to the open sea where we are, it's a journey that cannot be imagined. And you begin to wonder how criminal-minded people take time to do this just to continue to perpetrate economic sabotage and destroy the nation. From Forgados in Delta State, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Now, 6 winners have clinched the 2022 Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Limited prizes for literature, science and literary criticism, and this comes with a handsome monetary reward of $100,000 for the first 2 categories each and $10,000 as prize for the literary criticism. Amaka Owo captured the award ceremony and reports that the theme for the 2022 edition is Touching the Stars.
The Nigeria LNG Limited Prize for Science, Literature and Literary Criticism was established by the NLNG to support the vision in helping to build a better Nigeria by supporting scientific innovations and creativity in the literary world. Former President General Olusegun Obasanjo says the NLNG has contributed to national development and this should be advanced.
National development progresses positive change.
Chief Executive Officer of the NLNG says the overall intent of the significant prizes is to promote excellence in creativity and scientific innovations. He reveals other lofty CSR projects.
We are working with the Ministry of Works and Ministry of Finance to help to build the Bonny Bodo Road, which is about a 38-kilometer road that's going to connect Bonny Island with the mainland. And we believe that this whole project comes to almost almost 200 billion naira.
Members of the advisory board say the 2022 edition had over 200 entries.
The joint winners of the Nigerian Prize for Science 2022 on the theme Innovators in Sustainable Food Security.
Romeo Oriogun, whose work titled Nomad won the prize for literature, $100,000. The co-winners of the prize for science won $100,000 and literary criticism took away $10,000.
Thank you for their encouragement, for wakening the giant in us.
I really thank them so much for this great opportunity.
NLNG remains a world-class gas company. It is the biggest LNG plant in Africa and has 100% Nigerian leadership. In Lagos, Amaka Owo, NTA News.
The Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology in Lagos will soon be upgraded to meet with the best and contemporary agricultural institutions in Africa. The Chairman House Committee on Agric Colleges and Research Institutions, Munir Angudi, gave the assurance during an oversight to the college in Lagos, where he described the move as crucial to the actualization of the ongoing transformation in the sector. Diana Ajele reports.
The enormous benefits of fisheries to man ranges from offering nutritional value as good source of protein in human diets to a source of income and employment for many, to have sufficient species of fishes while equally sustaining the ecospace. The need to encourage young people willing to study agric and marine technology in tertiary institutions like Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology. This oversight visit by Chairman House Committee on Agric Colleges and Research Institutions and his team to the Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology, Lagos, is to ascertain the level of progress made in the implementation of the 2021 budget and to see what the college is doing in 2022.
I've gone around, we have seen their presentation to us, and we are very pleased with what we have seen. I am opportune to be in this college in 2011-2012. I can see the difference between that time and what we have now. From what we have seen in terms of the infrastructural development, I want to commend the National Assembly, the federal government of Nigeria.
While highlighting some of the achievements in the last few years, Provost, Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology, Lagos, Dr. Chus Onwoha, says students who wish to further their studies in nautical science, marine engineering, and other related courses can now do so right here in Nigeria.
There are more opportunities being created both for academic staff and the students to expand their knowledge, academic knowledge in different areas of marine engineering due to the increase in the number of programs, which hitherto is leading to increase in the number of students we are going to have, and that has necessitated our constructing a 100-room hostel, which is ongoing.
Located on Victoria Island, Lagos, with transformation noticeable in the last few years, it is the belief of stakeholders that the Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology is truly on the right track to becoming a world-class fisheries institution in the nearest future. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari expresses his sadness over the devastation caused by floods in Bayelsa State and extends the nation's condolences to the families of all those affected by this natural disaster. According to a released report by the state government, 700,000 persons have been displaced in about 300 communities and villages in 5 of the state's 8 local government areas that were submerged due to rains that caused the floods. President Buhari notes that buildings and water channels and disregard for early warnings by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, as well as the changes to weather caused by climate change, are chiefly to blame for the floods that have so far hit 33 of the nation's 36 states, as well as the Federal Capital Territory. While the authorities in the state are taking steps to help people hit by the floods, The President directed all federal agencies dealing with rescue and disaster management to offer all needed assistance to the state. The President also directs all concerned to work for the restoration of normalcy throughout the affected parts of the Federation. Following the havoc flood is wreaking in some states across the country, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Saidiya Umar Farouk, has advised state governments to strengthen legal instruments to assess funds for effective disaster preparedness and response. Elizabeth Omori reports.
East-West Road in the Rivers Bayelsa axis, still a death trap for so many travelers and settlers on border lines. 500 lives have been lost, more than 90,000 houses damaged, and over 140 hectares of farmlands destroyed, not forgetting roads and other critical infrastructures affected. As the water rises, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is strategizing to increase response.
We are calling on all the respective state governments, local governments, and communities to prepare by evacuating people living on flood plains to high grounds, providing tents and relief materials, fresh water, as well as medical supply for possible outbreak of waterborne diseases.
She also noted that meteorological agencies warn that states like Anambra, Delta, Cross River, Bayelsa, and Rivers are still at risk, and it is imperative for state governments to put mitigating measures in place. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Is next.
Nigeria's women's under-17 football team, the Flamingos, say they will be all out for the quarter-final ticket when they face Chile in their last group match at the ongoing FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup on Monday. The Nigerian girls, who have been intensifying training in the Indian city of Bhubaneswar, know that avoiding defeat in the match built for Kalinga Stadium will seal their place in the last 8. Back home, the 6th edition of the May Lafia Peace and Unity Cup, Dadare 2022, is in progress in Lafia with over 800 players from 32 teams across the southern senatorial district of Nasarawa State in contention for the coveted trophy and other prizes.
Expectation, first of all, is to consolidate on the peace and unity we have already established right from the first edition.
In the English Premier League, Arsenal maintained their lead atop the table with the 1-0 win to Leeds United as Chelsea beat Aston Villa 2-0 at home. Manchester United were held to a goalless stalemate by Newcastle United as Liverpool beat second-placed Manchester City by a lone goal. To cricket, Metama Crystal are the champions of the first Abuja Female Invitational 6-a-side cricket tournament played at the Cricket Oval of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, Sunday. 4 teams participated in the 2-day event, with Crystal beating Diamonds by 6 runs in the final.
We hope to have this as an annual event, so come next year. Hopefully, by the grace of God, we should be gathered here again to have this amazing event for the females.
And finally, the 3-day karting slalom motorsport program for secondary school students ended in Abuja Sunday with Hassan Indana winning the boys category with a time of 37 seconds, while Nadia Rufai won the girls category, clocking a time of 1.08 seconds.
Just came here to have fun, and then this happened, so I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much.
I believed in myself. I already knew that I could do it. Like when I saw other kids making their mistakes, I was outside there learning from their mistakes.
The karting slalom competition is aimed at introducing students to motorsports. With sports update, Bade Adeleye, NTA News.
Quite interesting. The death has been announced of Dr. Olabisi Oluyemi Ogunjobi. He was aged 75. Funeral arrangement as released by the family are as follows. Service of songs, lying in state and wake will hold at his residence in Ikeja, Lagos on Tuesday, October 18, 2022. Interment will take place on Wednesday, October 21st, 2022 in Ikare, Akoko, Ondo State. A Thanksgiving service is also scheduled for Friday, October 28 in Lagos. That's it on the news. It's back to Jenny for Newsline proper. Hello, Jenny. Take it and do your thing.
Thank you, Jumai. I like how you said Newsline proper. Okay, welcome to Stories on Newsline. Now we'll start with an interesting twist to a story that has been making the round on social media. Now there is a twist to that story, and from what we've seen on social media, on conventional and conventional media, we've seen so far is that a man was locked in a room for 20 years in Kaduna metropolis. His family members have denied the insinuation, but admitted that the 67-year-old man, Ibrahim Ado, was kept in a room in his compound to keep vigil on him in order to prevent him from unnecessary wandering. Suleiman Rigachinkun, who has been following the development, reports that after undergoing medical checks, Ibrahim Ado has been reunited with his family.
It was a story of a 60-year-old man allegedly kept in solitary confinement for 20 years.
Since I was a little boy, I know him being there. Because if I could remember, there was a time I know some years back, he used to go out and buy cigar and smoke outside. Later on, the family of the man realized that he used to go far away and it would be difficult for them to look for him. They decided to lock him inside the room to take good care of him.
This room is where Ibrahim Ado was kept and rescued by a team of environmental health workers in Kaduna North local government area.
We visited the scene. We actually found the man, as it was rightly stated, that he was there in the room. There was nothing in the room. He was seated on the floor, naked. Luckily enough, we went there with a pair of clothes, of which we gave him to wear. After dressing him, we brought him out from the room, and he confirmed to us his name is Mr. Ibrahim Ado, and he could not actually recall the number of years he spent in that room and in that same condition. It was gathered from the neighboring houses and just some few people around that the man has been there for almost 20 years in that place.
This is one of Ibrahim Ado's neighbors who confirmed that the victim was in isolation but denied that he was put in a solitary confinement for 20 years.
I was just overheard it yesterday in the night that people are saying that this man has been locked almost 20 years. And that's not the truth, seriously.
Ibrahim Ado is now back home. His relation were asked to take good care of him.
The family should do all they can to take proper care of him and with love. Our next story, children are divine gifts from God and must be treasured as such. Commercialization of this treasured bundle of joy through abduction, trafficking, and intention to sell as if they're mere commodities is heartrending. Moses Ode in Makurdi reports on the case of rescued 6-week-old baby twins deceitfully abducted from their mother at the high-level area of Makurdi, the Benue State capital.
21-year-old school leaver and a single mother of a twin is said to have passed her joint admission and matriculation board JAMB examination with a score of 200, awaiting admission into the university before she was put in a family way. The mother of two, who grew up with her maternal grandmother, is a product of a failed marriage with her biological parents, both from Benue State but separated. In an attempt to fend for herself, the mother of two relocated to Makurdi to put up with her friend and find a paying job to enable her further her education.
I had issues with my dad, like concerning my school. He has been taking money for my education, has not giving it to me, so I stopped. Like, I ran away from home.
This led her to cohabiting with the father of the babies before she was put in a family way.
I was thrown out of my boyfriend's house. That was how I got to meet a woman which asked me that will I sell my babies or give them out for adoption, and I said no. From that time I gave the babies out to her, and from then she stopped picking my call. When she picked my call, she told me to meet her somewhere. I met her somewhere and she asked me again, will I sell the babies or give them out for adoption? I said no. So she left, and that was how I got to NATEP.
At the moment, neither of our parents are aware of our deal. As the commandant, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, Makurdi, Gloria Baye, revealed that efforts to notify the parents is in progress.
If you want to adopt a child, go through the right channel. And also, a lot of people claim they are helping by advising the girls that you can sell the baby, outrightly sell the baby and get some money and continue with your life, which is also illegal. No child should be sold for any amount of money.
She assured of the command's resolve to nip the ugly trend in the bud and called on members of the public to hold the command in trust and disclose cases of child abuse, molestation, rape and suspected cases of trafficking to the agency for immediate response.
Thank God the babies were rescued. Parents, please trust no one and no baby should be sold. To suspected killer, Anambra State Police Command has arraigned a 37-year-old grandmother, Chinelo Udogu, who snuffed out the life of her 3-year-old granddaughter, Ifechukwu Udogu, in her community in Nibo and disposed the corpse in Oka. Udo Okoronkwo Chukwu reports that the suspect was earlier apprehended by operatives of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NATEP, in the state.
The state commander, Mr. Judy Chukwu Ipadin, said the command had been earlier tipped off by teachers of the school, where the suspect, Mr. Chinelo Udog, had enrolled the victim, little Miss Ifechukwu Udog, about the fresh and constant bruises and other signs of abuse on the child's body.
They received a complaint that they found marks on her body, bruises on her body. So my officers went that day. It happened that the girl has gone back. So we, together with the teachers, we asked them to be on the lookout whenever this woman will come again. In fact, we went to the neighborhood to see if we can get the woman. We searched around, but she didn't leave the address in the school.
On Wednesday, 5th October, the suspect was said to have gone to the school to retrieve the school fees paid for the victim. When the teachers questioned her on the whereabouts of the little girl, she told them that the girl had died. The school authority immediately alerted NAPTIP. Sadly, the suspect led the officials to the bush within the Hezekiah DK Oka, where the decomposing body of the victim was retrieved.
She claimed that the victim died on Thursday, last week Thursday. True to her words, the body has started decomposing. So I now alerted the Commissioner of Police that this is what I found out in my investigation of a crime of this nature. It has metamorphosed into a homicide case.
The Anambra State PPRO Tochukwu Ikenga speaks on the matter.
The case has been charged to court and the suspect in question has been remanded in a correctional service here in Anambra. The lesson we have to draw from this incident is for members of the public, especially our parents and our guardians, to desist from going physical whenever they intend to correct their children or their wards or their young ones.
The victim was born by the suspect's 18-year-old daughter, whose whereabouts is unknown. NTA News will update the public with further developments.
Only keep you posted. Grandmothers are usually loving, interesting times indeed. To another case, Kayama local government area in Kwara State recently became a center of attention following the case of alleged homicide and kidnapping against the former chief at General Hospital, Adio Abbas Adebowale. Olajide Bello reports that Nemesis eventually caught up with the trained lifesaver who allegedly turned out to be a kidnapper and killer when the Nigerian police force arrested him in Edo State.
The suspect Adio Abbas Adebowale, who fled to Benin from Kayama local government area in Kwara State, proved the saying that a leopard does not change its sport as he continued his mischief in Edo State. This eventually led to his arrest and parade for allegations of murder by the Edo State Police Command.
He left the victim in the car, his own vehicle, and after some time took him away to Oluku side when going to Ondo by the bypass there and dumped the body.
The revelation aroused suspicions by the Kwara State Police Command, and a crack team of detectives was set up to investigate, and the outcome was mind-blowing. This is the General Store Department, one of the sections here at the General Hospital in Kayama. This particular office is supposed to be for the clerk, who should be in charge of equipments that have been used and not used. But this particular spot is where one of the bodies was exhumed by the crack team of detectives set up by the Commissioner of Police Kwara State Command, Paul Odama. But what baffles the mind is one who's supposed to be a lifesaver eventually is a life taker.
In the course of interaction between him and our investigators, he confessed to the death of another 2 victims in Kayama area. So we are sure that by the time we bring him fully to Kwara State, maybe more revelations will prop up.
As revelations begin to unravel, I visited Usman Sani, the father of Nafisat Halidu, who went missing since 2021, and all efforts to get information about his daughter's whereabouts were futile.
When we discovered that the death of Nafisat is right in the office of, in fact, the doctor who is to save life, what we need is justice.
Activities are picking up gradually at the health facility as the state government has deployed another chief medical director to pilot the affairs of the hospital, as attested to by the hospital secretary.
The issue has come and has gone. I believe by now they should start coming to the hospital, because General Hospital is the only secondary facility we have in Kayama here.
The Emir of Kayama, the lawmaker representing Kwara North at the Red Chambers, and a state executive council member from Kayama bear their minds on the ugly incident.
We as a community, we are doing everything, and we tend to post our security staff there only so that we see them light and everything. Like myself, I patronize the hospital.
We are talking to our people to take faith. But again, we need to build confidence. It's a community where we have women, children, people who might not understand the reason why a medical doctor trained to save lives will be the one harming them.
The second victim, a direct niece actually. So it's quite unfortunate, especially that this came from a trusted person.
The only respite for families of the affected victims like Usman is for the law to take its full course with a view to serving as deterrent to others, while the Nigerian Medical Association that declined comments has revoked the doctor's license.
I just pray they don't find more bodies. It's really creepy. How can a lifesaver become a killer? What a shame. We'll take a break. Newsline will continue shortly. Welcome back. History, they say, neither forgets nor forgives, but helps to develop the ability to avoid mistakes and create better paths for the future. This concept came alive at a stage play performance organized as part of activities for the inauguration of the 5th democratically elected governor of Ekiti State, Biodu Oyebanji. Olubukola Aduwo, who was at the Obafemi Awolowo Civic Conference Center at Ekiti, venue of the event, reports that the play centered on the political history of Ekiti State.
The stage play, titled Iriajowa, meaning Our Journey, chronicles the political trajectory that led to the creation of Ekiti State in 1996 and how history recorded the roles played by the political actors, starting from the first military administrator, Mohammed Bawa, to the first democratically elected governor, Adeniyi Adebayo, to the time a state of emergency was declared in the state. Also highlighted were the roles played by the likes of Ayodele Fayose, Chief Segun Oni, Dr. Kayode Fayemi as governors, Chief Friday Aderemi acting governor 2006, Tunji Olurin, Mrs. Ayoka Adebayo, Ekiti State Resident Electoral Commissioner 2009, former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, and especially the new governor Biodun Oyebanji, who has been politically active since he was 26 years old. The mix of fiction and facts plus the apt characterization of heroic actors in the Ekiti political history with their typecast as well as the rich music and percussion of the play brought the message home.
I wanted our leaders to see how history has recorded this, so that up and coming leaders will be mindful of what they do. If they see this, perhaps it will tell them that, oh, so one day, if another production like this is done about my own tenure, what will history say about me?
It was an emotional evening for some members of the audience, as they say the play has given them deeper insights into their lives and how best to live it.
I'm a product of this, and it was very important step. It's not that I'm not doing others, but that they will access to opportunities. And I tell everyone that God has used to be able to where I am today.
The stage performance was put together by the Ekiti Performing Arts Company, an arm of the State Ministry of Arts, Culture and Tourism.
History helps us to learn from the past and do better in the present and even in future. Now to a reunion dinner. From Course 37, Nigerian Defense Academy boy, to a 3-star general in the Nigerian Army. This is the story of the current Army Chief, Farouk Yahaya. Apart from the Army Chief, others from the same set are also winning medals in their respective battalions and divisions. Some in the same ranking, however, are not alive to celebrate their successes. But that is a stark reality of life. In all, the Course 37 of the NDA in 1985 have every reason to appreciate God's grace, and NTA's defense correspondent, Ismail Musa, a general by association, as we fondly call him in the newsroom, was at the get-together of this set of eminent Nigerians. He shares the gleams and glamour.
In special Jumat prayers at the Mambila Barrack Central Mosque and a church service at the All Saints Military Church, Mogadishu Cantonment, Abuja, in appreciation of God's blessings on members of the 37 regular corps in the past 37 years. It is the NTA Regular Corps 37 reunion, a joyful celebration of transformation of boys to great men of honor, a journey that started in 1985.
Some died during training, either during Camp Harlan. May we never forget our fallen heroes and comrades.
It's a double-edged event, also honoring one of their own, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya. The chairman organizing committee took time to highlight some of the unique attributes of the man of the moment.
He was the first member of the corps to be appointed the Theatre Commander Northeast, Operation Lafia Dole, now Operation Hadinkai. He was the first member of the corps to be appointed as a service chief, and by implication, he was the first member of the corps to be promoted to the rank of a 3-star general. He was the first member of the corps from the army to earn the prestigious Nigerian Army Medal. He was the first member of the corps to be honored by the federal government of Nigeria with the esteemed and coveted national honor of Commander of the Order of the Federal.
Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya is one among the few members of the 37 regular corps still serving and standing very tall at the enviable office as a 3-star general.
We are doing well, we keep and continue to do well. And for us, for me, I always welcome input and contribution in everything we do. I think that's the way to go. I want to thank and appreciate all those who have contributed and going to contribute, and who are there doing their best and wherever they find themselves. It is that God.
To the incoming president of the corps, Major General Victor Eziogu, the chief priest as they call him, no gathering is too small or large for advice.
It is through his mercy that this corps that is celebrating our union today has produced of the army 26 major generals, of the Navy, 16 rear admirals, of the Air Force, 18 air vice marshals, making it a total of 62 generals.
The cutting of the reunion cake generated contest over supremacy among the then battalion.
They sure have reasons to be thankful to God. Now, there's something about turning 60 that feels like stepping into a new phase of life. Yes, a milestone indeed. When that celebration comes with the award of Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON, a new kind of fulfillment envelops such a person. That was the mood of Abike Dabiri Erewa as she celebrated her honors from God and the country on the same day. Alika Okpanachi Aruwa reports that it was a special moment for the chairperson of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, her family and friends.
I'm not joking. Like fine wine, she blossoms and glitters like diamond. The prayers from elders and loved ones, as well as hard work and determination, it's what sustains Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa as she gallantly dances into the venue of the occasion to mark her 60th birthday. It is the twin celebration, as it also coincides with the newly conferred honor as Officer of the Order of the Niger. As a young graduate, she joined the service of the Nigerian Television Authority as a reporter and quickly distinguished herself with a true life series that kept viewers wanting more.
Since they put him in detention, have you seen him?
Yes.
The two of you talk?
Yes.
What do you now talk?
The passion in her delivery was obvious. She soon took the anchor seat and held viewers in her own special way. on the Newsline.
We begin by taking you to Abia State, where President Olusegun Obasanjo was conferred with 3 chieftaincy titles.
Her time spent reporting the grassroots indeed made her a voice for the voiceless and the passion brewing to do more.
We come to the story of an exceptional woman in this next report, who is also in her own way shining a light positively.
In 2003, Abike joined politics as the voice of Ikorodu Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, and there she likewise stood out, speaking and fighting for the rights of children and many issues that bother on improving the quality of life of Nigerians. This earned her re-election twice into the same position. Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa was the chairman, House Committee on Media and Publicity, and chairman, House Committee on Diaspora at different times.
If Nigeria does not intervene in the deaths of its citizens abroad under any circumstances, Nigerians continue to remain endangered species.
She also sat on the board of the Lagos State Broadcasting Corporation, Vision 2010. When the ovation was loudest in her life in the National Assembly, Dabiri Erewa stepped aside to give room for younger ones to thrive. In 2015, she was appointed as Senior Special Assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. Her diligence at it improved diaspora relations of the country, and she was appointed the Pioneer Chairman in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, where she serves presently. On the 11th day of October 2022, Abike Dabiri Erewa turned 60, and on the same day, she was conferred with the honor as Officer of the Order of the Niger.
And for me, it was a big surprise. I was saying I will be doing my 60th birthday later in the year, which is to launch a foundation, do my book, and then just 3 days before, I just got an e-message that I was going to bring a national honor. I'm like, is this a joke or something? Because I didn't even see the name anywhere in the papers or something. So that means I had to change all my plans, and it's such a beautiful coincidence that it fell on my 60th birthday. And considering the fact that under this administration, no national honor took place except this first one. So I feel honored and privileged and lucky.
For this jewel, encomiums overflowed.
It's wonderful being a husband, and it's also very tasking and very, very daunting as well. But you know, the way it is, one just has to encourage her, and one has to be there to guide her, and one has to be there to protect her as well. My mom is just an amazing woman. She has lived to balance career as well as being a mother to us.
I've worked with her for the past 4 years at NIDCOM, advocating for the engagement of Nigerians in the diaspora in the development of Nigeria.
Abike Kapayat Oluwatoyin Dabiri Erewa was born in Jos, Plateau State. She is a wife, a mother, a grandmother, mentor, role model, and a leader. And she is grateful to God for this benevolence.
From her days on NTA Newsline till today, Abike Dabiri Erewa has been consistent as a voice for the voiceless. For instance, for 8 years, she investigated the story of Mary, the miracle baby, on Newsline until the case was unraveled. She is still doing much more for Nigerians in diaspora. And from Newsline and the NTA family, we say congratulations. To another celebration, the 19th Emir of Zazzau, Ahmed Bamali, who was among the recipients of the national honors, spared time to host his close friends and associates in the diplomatic corps in appreciation of their support towards his efforts in repositioning the Zazzau Emirate. Garba Mohammed Nata'ala was there and witnessed the August occasion in Abuja.
Encomiums continued to pour down on the Emir of Zazzau, Ahmad Bamali. The dinner attracted distinguished personalities, including his close associates from the diplomatic corps, to celebrate in his honor. The confinement of the Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, CFR, on the Emir of Zazzau surely has positioned the Emir, the Zazzau Emirate, and the people of Kaduna State to another level. A short video intrigued the audience after witnessing the transformations brought to Zaria town through his selfless service, which calls for celebration after his ascension to the throne within 2 years. His friends and associates praised his doggedness, as a result of which he has been distinguished.
He has been able to bring some form of unity among the various ruling houses, which was unprecedented.
In the palace, you can see remarkable achievements, renovations going on everywhere, buildings and so on and so forth, and you can know the type of person he is from that.
He has a listening ear. He tries as much as possible to unite as many people as he can. He's very concerned about the security and well-being of his citizens.
He has done so much in healthcare. You know, he's done a lot in terms of women development.
The celebrant recalled 57 years ago.
Exactly, this time, 57 years ago, my father received, the same type of, award.
The Emir prayed for renewed strength and zeal to enable him to continue carrying on the responsibilities bestowed on him.
Worth celebrating indeed. We'll take another break. We'll be back. Welcome back. Euphoria of the conferment of national awards on some prominent Nigerians still lingers days after the event. For one man, a senior special assistant to the president on household and social events, Mohammed Kalu Sarki Abba, who bagged double national honors from both Nigeria and Niger Republic, it is a call for duty and a time to sustain loyalty. Charles Alpha reports.
Relevance at home and abroad. Recognized and honored with the Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON, by his country Nigeria, and again conferred with the Order de Mérite du Niger, Grand Maitre des Ordres Nationaux, the highest second award in Niger Republic.
I reflect back and try to see why I get this back-to-back honor. So I thank God for it. So all praises will be to God.
The awardee, Mohammed Sarki Kalu Abba, stayed with his principal as his personal assistant through years of partisan politics, and now as the senior special assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on household and social events.
There is no singular honor than to serve a head of state, which in turn shows you are serving your country.
He has shown a capacity to understand power, the balance of power in the intricate politics, ways and means in the presidency and the nation.
Dedication, hard work, loyalty and patriotism were used to describe the man by friends and associates. And the SGF, boss Mustafa and others could not agree less.
By Mr. President giving him this honor and the acknowledgement of his work by another fellow president of the neighboring Republic of Niger, it shows tells as much about our president as well as the awardee. He is a dependable, a reliable, and a trustworthy person.
From the Nigerian Agricultural and Cooperative Bank, Kaduna, now the Bank of Agriculture, as general manager, to real estate firm, Mohammed Sarki Kalu Abba is said to have made his mark and will be hoping to give more to his fatherland.
We say congratulations. Still on national honors, hard work never goes unrewarded. In the end, it does pay off. This is a story of Shitu Mohammed Kabir, an agriculturist whose contributions in the agricultural sector and nation building over the years was recognized. He was awarded the Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, OFR, at the 2022 National Honors Awards investiture. Charles Alpha reports.
The development of any nation rests in the hands of its people, and where there is a reward system, they are even encouraged to do more. 447 out of the more than 2 million Nigerians and friends who distinguished themselves in various fields of human endeavor did not go unnoticed.
And I think it shows that there are some things that I'm doing that they are looking at, that what I have to do is to ensure we continue doing better.
Honorable Shitu Mohammed Kabir, National President of the Cowpea Association of Nigeria, has made his mark in not just nation building, but in the agricultural sector. Shitu, who is an ardent believer in the unity of Nigeria, was recognized and conferred here with the Order of the Federal Republic Award.
For the little I put, my country has recognized me, so it's a challenge that I should put more.
Back home, as he treats loved ones, friends and family to a reception, his contributions and love for Nigeria resonates.
We believe that all the front lines, religious front line, tribal front lines, will all be removed, eliminated, so that Nigeria will become a nation. So he is very active in our group. He merits this award.
I have known Alaji for a few years, and he is the kind of person that has integrity.
So that clearly shows how important Alaji is in the Nigerian society.
And I pray it's a blessing to us all.
What this means to me is that the aspiration of Nigeria is our aspiration, and that Nigerian must at this time see ourselves as army, foot soldiers of development, of unity.
And Shitu Mohammed Kabir, having been recognized by former President Goodluck Jonathan with the award of the Member of the Order of the Niger, he has again received Nigeria's National Award for the second time.
Kudos, well done. Keep up the good works. And it is not every day that one gets recognized by his country for contributions to national development. But when it happens, it usually comes with a sense of pride and fulfillment, with the inspiration to do more. Former Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, was one of the proud recipients of Officer of the Order of the Niger Awards at the prestigious National Honors Award ceremony in Abuja. Ekene Ndulio reports.
What does it feel like to walk up the stage, get a handshake with the president, and receive the national award? Apparently, not everyone will be privileged to tell that story. Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, former Director General of the NTA, is one of the few Nigerians to receive that honor.
The little stone I have contributed to the building of my nation, which is Nigeria, has been appreciated. And of course, it's going to inspire me to want to do much more than that. I contributed a small stone. Now, my aim and objective is to contribute a bigger stone to the motherland.
Joining the NTA in 1977, he worked tirelessly for the authority and rose through the ranks until his retirement in 2012. His appointment as Director General of NTA, which spanned through 2016 to 2022, was best described as putting a square peg in a square hole. He was not the only journalist to be honored on that day, and the dinner held in their honor was a proud moment for the media community.
The media has done so much to this country. We have united the country and we are still doing it. And I think this is the first time I think any government in the history of this country is recognizing journalists or broadcasters to this level. And we remain grateful to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari, for this recognition.
The list also has Femi Adesina, Special Advisor, Media and Publicity to the President, Baba Halilu Dantiye, former President, Guild of Editors, and Chris Isigbo, National President, Nigerian Union of Journalists. And for them, this is a call to do more.
If you don't have a conviction about the principle, then you are just but President Buhari is a man who have a conviction for and in.
When a politician sets agenda, he sets agenda that suits his fancy, that suits his whims, you know. But when the media sets the agenda, it is for national good. So the media must begin to assert that authority of agenda setting, so that the system, the political landscape, the country will be better for it.
The testimonies of how the National Honors Award recipients impacted the media industry is motivation for the guests and families.
Honoring the media, excellent. And to our former Director General, we say, congratulations, we are proud of your achievements. This is where we'll end today's episode of Newsline. Thank you for being a part of it, and say thank you also to all the members of the Newsline crew in Lagos and Abuja for all their contributions and efforts. So until next week, when another episode of Newsline comes your way, remember, the fastest and easiest way to becoming a star is to connect with NTA to stand against rape and rapists. Good night and God bless Nigeria.